Otro video para ti hoy. I wanted to show you this problem I'm having with a customer's computer. It's a Gateway, what is it, XZ series all-in-one. It has Windows 7, iCore 3 processor. It has a boot loop, so I'm just going to quickly go over that. So if you turn it on, oops, I know why, because this is halfway taken apart. So just give me a second and we'll get this. There we go. Okay, so it'll just boot loop. And so this one's I have to take the hard drive out, and I'm gonna show you how to take the hard drive out as well in this video. So it doesn't matter what you pick, start Windows normally, it does not boot properly. As you can see, part of my reflection in the monitor, but you know, I don't know how else to rectify that. For now, I have a camcorder. I just am not able to download the raw video to my computer because that FireWire port doesn't work. But I do have a decent camcorder that I plan on in the future using my videos. But for now, this suffices. So it's a boot loop. Now, if you choose a different option, I'm not going to choose all of them, but I'll show you another one. We'll just try last known good configuration. I just want to show you it's a boot loop. Not Fruit Loops, the cereal that's crappy for you because it's processed sugar, but it won't boot. So it's got Windows 7. I think the hard drive is healthy. It's just might have viruses, malware, spyware, or corruption. And it keeps saying set up as starting services. So it's going to boot loop. Now it's going to go back to the BIOS. Okay, so it boot looped twice. Now I'm going to power it off. Let's see. You know what? I'm just going to unplug it from the back because we'll just unplug it before it tries to boot. Okay, so now it's an all-in-one. Now I'm going to show you how to take it apart. Another thing I'm not going to show you because that'll take too long. The reason why I'm taking the hard drive out is the keyboard and mouse don't work when you boot off of a Windows 7 CD or thumb drive to go into the repair options. So that's another problem. The keyboard and mouse quit working, which I've noticed on some HPs with Windows 10, but usually Windows 7. I think there might be a way to load the drivers. I'm not going to mess with that. So I'm going to just take the hard drive out because time is money, you know what I'm saying. So let me disconnect the keyboard and mouse and move them out of the way. If I were to show you that, it would just take too long. All right, they're out of the way. So what you're gonna have to do is there's multiple screws that you have to take out. Let me show you that first. We'll just kind of act like it was still put together. There's one here, 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 corner, and then there's two underneath the DVD drive. There's two underneath the DVD drive. Be aware of that because you'll break the frame if you don't get those two. You see where they're at right there? You should be able to see them. Right there. This is a Gateway. The light's not the best. Gateway ZX series. It's an i3 Windows 7 Home Premium. So you're gonna have to take out these screws. This also screws off. There's 3 screws. So be aware of that, because if you don't take this off, you cannot take the cover off. So there's 3 screws right there. So then that comes off. Also, the DVD plate comes off. You have to take the DVD plate off, otherwise you won't be able to take the cover off. But it does come off. Just pull it, and there's 2 screws under the DVD that you're gonna have to get to. So that's why you might need you're gonna need a Phillips. You might need a small flathead in case to turn the screw once you get it loose, and you want to get a screwdriver that that's magnetic. You want a magnetic screwdriver in case the screws fall along the sides. You can use the magnetic screw to slowly pull out the screw if it moves anywhere on the side. So that's why I used my magnetic screwdriver. And then there's two small screws right here under the DVD drive and a pick, because what you're gonna do, oops, that came off. What you're gonna do is you're gonna have to pull. That'll snap right back in. See how it is on the sides? Once you get all the screws, it'll come apart. But if you forget any screws, you're going to end up breaking the case, and you'll be able to tell. So you would take a pick and just slide. Or what you could do is with the screwdriver, but be careful with the screwdriver because you're going to start scratching up the case, is get it loose in a corner, and then that's where you would take the pick and run it, and then it'll come loose, and on all sides. So I'm just going to show you. Then once you get everything loose, it'll just pop right off. Now, here's where the hard drive's at. Right here. So there's one more screw that I have to get to. I think it's just one screw to hold in this cover, and we can do that with the Phillips. So this is an all-in-one computer. It's a Gateway ZX series, I think. It's a Core i3 processor. So it might be a dual core. Let's see, any other here. Oh, it comes right off. So you unscrew it and just pull it towards you, and you see how it just comes right off? Now, the connectors. These are standard SATA and power. So we'll just pull those off. They pull off pretty easy. And I'm just going to leave the hard drive like that. I'm just going to leave it in its case. No need to take it apart. Because what I'm going to do now... Oh, another thing is this guy. I forgot to tell you that. You're going to notice this piece attached, I think this way. Well, this is a cover for it. This cover right here, you see the plastic cover? It's going to look like that. Now what you want to do is you want to take the cover off first, and it'll pull apart. Just be careful. If you use a screwdriver, be careful. You don't want to start scratching everything up. This is an older computer. It's already scratched, but I still don't like to scratch up cases. So this comes off, this snaps out, and then it'll be screwed down. And there's 3 screws you have to take out. All right. So I think I covered everything over there. So what we're going to do, I'm going to move that aside. Now I've got my slave computer. This is what I use to recover data. And I'm just going to slave it. I've got these 2 connectors right here. And then I'm going to slave it. And then I'm going to either off a DVD, or I have Windows 10. I'll probably boot it into Windows 10. And I will run a check disk and malware. And I will show you part of that. So this will be one video, but I'm going to have to combine them into different parts, because you know what I'm saying. So I will be back when I boot into Windows 10, and I will just kick off some scans for you. So number 1, this is a Gateway all-in-one ZX series 4971G. I showed you how to take apart the case. There's they never sit. There we go. There's multiple screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think 8 total. Now when the customer gave me the computer, the major screws were already taken out, and then all I had to do was take out this guy, and then this was screwed down, and then this was covered. So I just had to take off the cover, and then I had to take out 3 screws, and then also the DVD cover came off, and then there's 2 screws under the DVD drive. So be aware of that on the side. So I show you how to disassemble it, and then take out the hard drive, 1 screw, and then I will be back. Adios. I'm back. Here's the Gateway all-in-one ZX series that I took apart I like to just flip the cover over and put any tools and any parts and covers, DVD cover, thumb drive for the customer's data in case I need to back it up, a CD that was in his computer, screws, whatever I am using for the computer. I like to put it in the cover and then just flip it upside down. And then here's where the hard drive was on the ZX Gateway All-in-One, and I just put that on the top. And I like to keep things nice and organized so I don't lose anything. You don't want to lose screws. If you lose a customer's CD and it's music, they'll get pissed off at you, probably more than if it's a system CD, thumb drive. They don't want you to lose that. Screws, parts, covers. I keep it all in the, just flip over the cover and just keep it in one area. And there's a hard drive, a customer's hard drive that is failing, and I couldn't recover the data, so I have that hard drive there. Here's my recovery computer. It's just a dual core. It's got 4 SATA connectors on the motherboard, and I've got 2 hard drives that I boot off, a Linux hard drive and a Windows 10 hard drive. And then here's the hard drive from the Gateway ZX series all-in-one, and it's fine, it's healthy. And I'm gonna boot it up Windows, and I'm gonna show you that I usually kick off 4 different scans to save time. I generally don't run antivirus, but you can run antivirus all at the same time, but sometimes I notice antivirus bogs down my computer. So it's only a dual core, but that's all you really need for a recovery machine. But a quad core would obviously be faster. So as you can see, the Gateway hard drive is mounted. It's listed under G, and it's fine. I think it's healthy. So I'm just going to start scans. I'm going to try to repair this Gateway hard drive that's boot looping Windows 7. So here's what first I start scanning for malware bytes, and I also run super anti-spyware, and I run them at the same time. But since I slaved that hard drive, you can just go into File Manager, right click on the drive that you want to scan, which is the Gateway G, and select Scan with Malware Bytes. Otherwise, if you go into the Malware Bytes program, you have to change the drive letter. Say yes at the user account control, and it should kick off a scan as long as the malware database is updated. And it's already scanning. Then I'm going to do the same thing. I think I can with super anti-spyware, can I? Maybe not. So I will open up super anti-spyware, and I might have to change the drive letter in there. Okay, free edition, and Malware Bytes is running, and I just let them run. I don't need your website. Malware Bytes is running. We can also kick off an SFC scan. We'll just do that. Windows, PowerShell, admin, choose admin. You want to run SFC scan, say yes, user account control. You want to run SFC scan as admin. Well, I don't need the Windows PowerShell. I just need the regular command prompt. Where did my regular command prompt go? I don't know what's up with that. Okay, so you just right click, select, come on, run as administrator. You have to have administrator rights to run SFC scan, so we'll kick it off. Oh, you know what? That's right, you can't run it on, okay, well, we'll cancel that one. That's right, I do kick off 4 scans, that's right. I run antivirus too. That's what it is. So we're going to run a check disk. That can take a long time. So that's why I like to run these scans at the same time to save time. Otherwise, you can be here, days. So CMD again. CMD. I shouldn't have closed it. I'm wasting time. Check disk. CHKDSK. And then space the drive letter, which is going to be G. And then shift colon and then space /F/R. hit enter, and it's already scanning. But that one can take a long time. The ETA is already 20 hours. That's Microsoft time. A lot of times they don't take that long, but you never know. It depends on the health of the hard drive and how much data. But that's why I kick off scans at it's already past the first stage, but the 4 and the 5 stages, the 4th and the 5th take a long time. So we'll just maximize that. We'll minimize that. Malwarebytes is running. And who knows how long that will take. It hasn't detected anything yet, but we'll let that run. And then super anti-spyware. Let's see. Now, here's where you can change the drive letter. Okay, I think... Yes. So, advanced scan settings, I think. You can change the drive letter. Modify. Okay, I'm pretty sure you can. It might be under preferences. Oh, I know I've done it before. How about advanced again? Huh. How about under scheduled scanning? Advanced scan settings. Quick scan. No. Well, I'll figure it out. I'll be back. I'm wasting time. I'll be back. I know it's in there. You can change drive letter. And then if you have antivirus, then you kick off an antivirus scan. Do I have any antivirus? Super anti-spyware, obviously. Let's see. I have Windows Defender. That's, yeah. Yeah, if you have antivirus, then you kick that off too. So I'll be back and I'll kick off the super anti-spyware. I'll be back. I'm back with super anti-spyware. Okay, if you click cancel, if you go back, you cannot change the drive letter using a quick scan and super anti-spyware. So what you can do is select custom scan, then add a drive letter, add a custom scan location, choose this PC, and then select the drive you want to scan. It will still scan, even though you're getting that access is denied. Just click OK again. The drive letter is added, and then we're going to start a scan. And it'll kick off. It's going to scan the local hard drive C and the registry, but it'll eventually kick off and scan the G drive. Just make sure it scans the G drive. Now, as you can see in the background here, the check disk scan is running. It's already on stage 4, but it's already found. Do you see the error? That's why I run a check disk scan. Windows replaced bad clusters in file 497. Windows replaced bad clusters in file 3CF7. Stage 3 completed. Stage 2 completed. Oh, look at their orphan files. Look at how many orphan files were recovered. So there's errors on this disk, and that's why I run a check disk, because I might be able to fix it and then Windows 7 will boot, or at least it won't boot loop anymore. And I will be back after these scans finish, and you can certainly start an antivirus scan. So I have 4 scans running at once. I would have the Malwarebytes, the super anti-spyware, a check disk, and also a virus scan. I will be back and I will let you know. And I will probably be back when I mount the hard drive back into the gateway and see if it boots normally. Adios. I'm back with an update. As you can see, I have the hard drive placed back in this Gateway ZX all-in-one i3 with Windows 7 that was boot looping. I ran check disk scan and it failed. Earlier in the video I kicked it off. It failed at stage 5, starting stage 5, but check disk found some orphan files, and also found some bad clusters, but it failed at stage 5. However, when I reconnected the hard drive into this Gateway all-in-one and I went to power it on and boot it up, it actually kicked off a check disk. So it's a paradox. I mean, sometimes it is good running check disk when you find errors. If you run check disk on a hard drive and it does not find errors, and the hard drive, the Windows won't boot properly, or you still get boot loops, that's really bad. The whole point of running check disk is so that you can find errors and possibly fix bad clusters or orphan files or corrupt files. So this is a good sign. It's on stage 2 of 3. So this is a good sign. I'll be back, and hopefully this computer will finally boot into Windows 7. Even if it does boot into Windows 7, not out of the dark yet, because I like to run scans once I am able to repair a Windows file system enough so that it boots in its, proper hardware in the computer and not slaved. I usually load, Malwarebytes, CCleaner, I run those, and then I might even run a hard drive test to make sure the hard drive's not failing. But so far so good. So hopefully after this check disk that came on, the system automatically, sometimes Windows will do that. Sometimes Windows will automatically trigger a check disk if it notices that there's problems with the hard drive. Sometimes the file system is too corrupt that it won't even prompt. So to me this is a good sign. I'll be back. I'm back almost 12 hours later, day later, not quite a day later. I wanted to update and finalize this video pertaining to this Gateway Windows 7 Core i3 ZX series. Well, when I went to load the operating system, it was blue screening. All I did was load Windows 7 Home Premium, and I installed some Windows updates, and it started blue screening. So you know what I did to rectify that? I'm still working on it, but it's almost done. I formatted the hard drive. The hard drive was pretty badly corrupt. I backed up the recovery partitions, and I can restore those. But I use Heron's boot CD to wipe drives, and even this is a newer computer. It has a SATA hard drive, and it detects the hard drive, and it formatted it. Whatever you do utility, I prefer Derek's boot and nuke, which is on the Heron's boot CD. I prefer using that to wipe my hard drives or the hard drives I work on, but it's up to you, whichever one you prefer. But if you start getting blue screens, or you go and install the operating system and updates won't install correctly, or you get all slowness, I recommend that you just format the entire hard drive with a utility like Derek's boot and nuke. And as you can see, I'm rebooted twice, no blue screens, and I'm good to go. I just need to load the drivers. Another thing here quickly, since I'm here, I use this driver pack solution to load drivers. If you do not have internet access, you just load the drivers off the DVD. And so I think I'm good to go now. So that's it. That's my video on the Gateway ZX series, Windows 7 Home Premium Core i3 problems I had. So from start to finish, some of it dealt with hardware. I recovered the customer's data. This USB flash drive is locked with BitLocker, but I backed up their data and put it on another computer, and instead of messing with this guy, I'm just going to put it on another flash drive, and then I'm going to recover his data and put it on this computer, and then I'll be good to go. I should be able to return this computer to my customer tomorrow, and then I had another customer brought in a Windows 10 laptop. They had a bad hard drive and they needed me to reload the operating system. A quick tip with Windows 10: as long as Windows 10 has ran on that, same thing with Windows 8. Windows 8 and Windows 10, as long as the operating system has already been installed once and activated, you do not need to worry about COA stickers, Certificate of Authenticity stickers. You just you have to load the correct operating system. And this one had Windows 10 Home, and then it will automatically activate it because it's the serial number is I think set in the BIOS somewhere, or it matches it with the motherboard, or whenever Windows loads, Microsoft's database already knows it's already been registered. Now on Windows 7, quickly, Windows 7, oh, I'm sorry. Here, I want to show you really quickly, and then I need to run because I need to put this video together, and it's going to be quite a long upload. But this was a productive video because I fixed their problem by reimaging. I just reimaged the computer. I tried to repair it. I couldn't repair it. I just couldn't. The file system was so corrupt, and even the recovery partition was corrupt. Windows 7 and earlier, you have to have the COA stickers. So you have to type that in right there. Windows 8, Windows 10, you don't have to worry about that as long as the operating system has been loaded and activated one time before. So if the hard drive crashes and fails and you replace the hard drive, doesn't matter. You can load whatever version of Windows the computer came with, and then it will reactivate itself. Adios.